Welcome to this webinar, Managing Holiday Finances. What will your holiday look like this year? We're in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. And for you, like so many of us, let's face it, our holidays will look different this year. I read an article just about a month ago that was sharing a story about this family who started to put their holiday lights up in the middle of June. And then the whole neighborhood started to put their holiday lights up. Some put a lot, some put just a few candles, but they were saying in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, they just wanted to bring some type of hope and some type of cheer. So they started to put their holiday lights up. Well, if you decide to put holiday lights up or not, one of the things that we all will have to deal with is what we will do regarding the choices about our money during the holidays. So, in this webinar, I will share with you some tips that I want you to take away. I'll also share some tools that you can use in terms of preparing for this unique holiday as we are in the midst of COVID-19. My name is Sylvia Watford. I'm a financial educator at Virginia Credit Union. You can reach out to me at sylvia.watford@vacu.org, or you can also reach out to our team at vacu.org/educators if you have any basic questions regarding your finances or anything in reference to this webinar. Please reach out to our team. So, the first thing that I want you to think about, I want you to know your numbers. Have an idea of what you think you may spend in terms of your different expenses. And don't think of just gifts that you might be buying during the holidays, but think of any type of travel plans, which we know will probably be pretty limited this year, decorations, food, entertainment, and also if you plan to do any giving, think about what those expenses might look like and then think about where the money will come from. Do you have money in savings? Because so many people are really putting more money in savings. So, do you have any money that's already allocated for the holidays? Will you be using some of your income? Will you be receiving assistance from any charities or family members? Or are you going to choose to use credit? So, know your numbers, have a sense of what you might be spending for the holidays. The second thing I want you to do is make a list and check it twice. Think about who you plan to purchase gifts for and think about different categories. So you may think, okay, how many family members do I have that I plan to purchase a gift for? What about close friends? What about relatives? What about coworkers? But think about the different categories and think about how much you will spend for the different categories. So this is a great tool that you can use and we call this the gift list. So in this list, you'll see that you'll actually list the different categories as well as the amount that you'll be paying for each person, what the price is, and then you have the limit per person and then the total limits. So this will help to keep you on track in terms of your gift list. The next thing that I want you to think about is what are your boundaries? Listen, we can't buy gifts for everybody. So I want you to think about what boundaries you are setting for you and your family. And so you may want to have a family meeting and really talk with your spouse, your significant other, your partner to just make sure that everyone is on the same page concerning how much you plan to spend during the holidays and then also set expectations with your children. I know of one particular family and every year they tell their children you can get one really big gift and then another smaller gift. So two gifts per children. That story may be a little different now as we face COVID-19, but have a conversation with your children and let them know what the expectations are, and then you can move from there. In order to do that, we have another tool that's available, and this is your holiday budget plan. So, with this plan, you're actually write down, again, knowing your numbers, where the source of funds will actually come from, what the gifts are, any type of costs regarding mailing packages, what the entertainment costs will be. So, you'll be able to determine what you're actually spending and what money you have coming in. So think about that as well to use as a tool. And then I want to share with you some cost reduction tips. But before I share the tips with you, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is when you have your family meeting, do some brainstorming as a family to determine ways that you can cut costs, especially for gifts. So, in terms of convenience, you might want to consider using electronic gift cards and think about regifting. I know someone that they get a lot of gift cards, but they don't use them for themselves. They use them to give to other people. So think about if regifting might be an option for you. Also, since we're at home more, what service, what talent, what skill do you have that you could give as a gift to someone else? Families who have small children, one of the things that I know in my family that they love is they love when I give them the gift of my babysitting services. So think about what services that you can provide for people. I have a relative that's a CPA, and one of the things that he does is that he actually gives a gift of his skill as a CPA to his friends where he doesn't charge them, for their taxes. So think about that. Something different. Think outside the box regarding ways that you can save money in terms of gifts. The other thing that you want to look at is instead of giving everybody individual gifts, what type of family gifts could you give? So it might be giving a family a really neat game that they can play together instead of an individual gift for each family member. You can use the different gift games, White Elephant, Secret Santa. All of those are games that you can play as a family, but you don't have to buy as many gifts. So, again, get your family together, do some brainstorming, and think about ways that you can reduce the cost in terms of gifts. We know with the COVID-19 pandemic that travel will look very different now. I have a friend in every season, every holiday season, her family takes a trip to somewhere warm, and they've already said they won't be making that trip this year. So, they're looking at other options. Look at virtual options. You could really have a family gathering using one of the online platforms where you all get together. My family, we did that for Mother's Day, and everybody had their brunch, and we just basically got together on a Zoom call. So look at virtual options for getting the family together instead of traveling. If you will be traveling, a lot of people are driving now, so you can prepare for that in terms of those road trips and just preparing for ways that you can save in terms of travel. Here's the thing that I want you to avoid at all costs. When I was working with individuals on a one-on-one basis, they would come, and I was very busy as a financial counselor during February, and they would tell me, Miss Watford, I need to get out of debt because I had an emergency on December 25th. They had borrowed a lot of money and now they were trying to pay it back. So you want to avoid what we call the holiday debt cycle. We know that insanity is that if we keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, it's as if we are insane. So we want to change that by instead of going into debt, using credit cards, personal loans, having this high interest rate, and then spend the whole year trying to pay that off, let's look at a different strategy. So, ways that we can avoid this is first, consider having a separate holiday savings account. Research tells us that when we have a separate account and we name it for a particular purpose, the chances of us putting money in that account on a regular basis increases. So think of that separate holiday savings account. Think of developing a gift closet. I actually stole this idea from a friend of mine's. And with a gift closet, you basically have a place in your house, and throughout the year, when you may come across something and you purchase something that you think someone would really enjoy, you just purchase it throughout the year, put it in your gift closet, and then when the holidays are here, you simply look at what you have in your gift closet. If you've been caught up with that holiday debt cycle, this is the time because so many of us are making changes with this COVID-19 concerning our personal finances. This is a time to really focus on repaying last year's loans and actually saving. If you have a really high interest rate, you could possibly consolidate that and get a lower interest rate. The key is to have that paradigm shift to avoid the holiday debt cycle. If you are like so many people, remember the reason for the season. Remember that the holidays are really a time to be reflective, to be thankful, and even in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, to be hopeful as well. I know of a family, and what they have decided to do during this holiday season is that they have decided to adopt a homeless shelter because they feel so fortunate that they are still working, they still have income coming in, but so many people don't. So, what they've done is they are adopting this homeless shelter and they're having their children pick out gifts for the children that are in that homeless shelter. So, this may be a wonderful opportunity for you and your family to create a memorable moment that you will never, ever forget, even in the midst of the crises that we are experiencing. If you need a deeper dive regarding your finances and you really need to meet with someone to develop a budget and you want more information, we have two options that are available. We have a free financial coaching program where we partner with Balance, and you can reach out at 888-456-2227, or you can go online at vacu.org/balance. But if you have some questions, some basic questions, and you just need some guidance or any questions regarding this webinar, you can reach out to our team of financial educators and you can reach us at vacu.org/educators. Thank you so much. And I wish you a very, very happy holidays. Don't let COVID steal your cheer. Thank you so much for listening.